Macmillan Audio presents Havisham by Ronald Frame. Read for you by Sophie Ward.
Love is in the one who loves, not in the one who is loved. Plato. Prologue. 4 loud blows on the front door. I stood waiting at the foot of the staircase as the door was opened. The light from the candles fell upon their faces. Mr. Jagger's, large and London pale, and mapped with a blue afternoon beard. A nursemaid's, pink with excitement after listening on the journey down to Mr. Jagger's discreet account of me, my wealth, my eccentric mode of life, my famous pride and prickliness. And the third face, the child's. She was standing a few paces behind the nursemaid. She was keeping back, but leant over sharply to see between the 2 adults. She looked forward, into the house, across the hall's black and white floor tiles. When she was brought inside, I studied her from my vantage point on the second tread. Her complexion was a little tawny, as I had been led to expect. She had raven hair, which was more of the gypsy in her, but her eyes were blue, from the English father. Blue, silvery blue, and wide open, staring up at me, at where I stood, wearing the wedding dress I should have been married in. I lifted my hand from the banister rail and moved to the step beneath. Immediately the child turned away. She raised her shoulder as if to protect herself and hid behind the nursemaid's skirts. The woman smiled a nervous apology. I retreated 1 step up, then another. "Too much light," I said. "That's all." The child's eyes rested on my bride's slippers, white satin originally, but soiled after these many months of wear. "The light dazzles her," I said. "She will adjust. She only needs to get her bearings." Part 1. Young Catherine. Chapter 1. I killed my mother. I had turned round in the womb, and the surgeon needed to cut her open to let me out. He couldn't staunch her, and by the end of that evening she had bled to death. My father draped the public rooms of Satis House in dust sheets. The chandeliers were left in situ, but wrapped in calico bags. The shutters were closed completely across some windows, and part drawn at others. My first days were lived out in a hush of respectfully lowered voices, as a procession of folk came to offer their condolences. My eyes became accustomed to the half-light. One evening, several new candles were set in one of the chandeliers. My mother's clavecine was uncovered, and someone played it again, notwithstanding that it was out of tune. And that was the point at which the house stopped being a sepulchre and was slowly brought back to life. It was the first word I remember seeing. Havisham, painted in green letters on the sooty brick of the brewhouse wall. Fat letters, each one had its own character. Comfortable spreading H, angular proud A, welcoming, open, V. The unforthcoming sentinel, I. S. A show-off, not altogether to be trusted. The squat and briefly indecisive, then reassuring M. The name was up there even in the dark. In the morning it was the first thing I would look for from the house windows, to check that the wind hadn't made off with our identity in the night.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?